Hi, welcome to Daddy Daughter Discussions. This is where me and my daughter Patrice get together and talk about all the things that fathers and daughters might talk about, might not want to talk about, maybe need to talk about, or just are gonna talk about. So how you doing today, Patrice?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I see you are wearing your Louisville Cardinals hat. You are a
Yep.
Cardinals fan just like me. We both wearing red. So we got that connection. That's what's up. I was a big Cardinals fan as a kid, which I know you know, and we're both big fans of the Louisville Cardinals. They won the national championship in what 2013.
They
And
won the year that I went there.
what you say?
They won the year that I went there.
Oh really? Oh okay okay. Yeah, they we waited 27 years for the Cardinals to win a championship, and my grandmother, your great grandmother Felicia, she was such a big Louisville fan. She used to have a whole room full of red, like Cardinal red, and that was one of the last things she saw before she died. So she was literally happy that they won it before she died. So anyway, how's it going today?
It's going good. Just trying to stay productive and working and working and working.
Working's good. Working's
I
good.
don't have on any makeup today. The viewers were like giving me life because they love my makeup.
I know. Yeah, people. The comments were so funny. One guy was like, "Dr. Boyce, you better get your shotgun. Your daughter
Oh
is
yeah, the
beautiful."
one he was like, you need to get an AK-47.
Yeah, that's what he said. It
Yeah,
was an
that was funny.
AK-47.
That was
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. I bought one. It's in the bag.
Whatever.
I got an AK for the haters.
Hmm.
So anyway, you and I were talking about this thing with Caitlyn Jenner, who used to be
Bruce.
named Bruce,
Yeah.
but it says call me Caitlyn, Caitlyn with a C. Um, that was so interesting to see Bruce Jenner turned into a woman. It was just one of the most bizarre things I've ever seen. What did you think about it?
Well, I think that is interesting because honestly, and this is in first, I just feel like I should make a disclaimer. I don't want to disrespect anyone. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or offend anyone because that's not my job and that's not what I'm here to do. But sometimes I get the feeling that transgenders don't even know what it means to be transgendered
Mm,
because Bruce Jenner, he had said in his 2 hour interview with Diane Sawyer that he can identify with being a woman. That's what he said. He can identify with being a woman. How do you know? You don't know what women, technically, you don't know what women feel like. And then, he's saying that he feels like he was born a woman, but to his children, he still wants them to feel like he's their dad. Dads are men. So, I mean, it's kind of confusing. Are you a woman and their mom, or are you still a man and their dad, you just have breasts? It doesn't make a lot of sense. And sometimes I just think that it's just really hard to understand.
mm. Well, let me ask you this: how would you feel if one day I had come to you and just said, "I've always wanted to be a woman, so I'm about to go get a surgery. So when next time I see you, I'm gonna have long hair, fingernails, maybe some boobies, but I'm still your dad." Um, how would that make you feel? Just as a
It,
young
it,
black woman.
I would just have to tell you, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. How are you a woman, but you're still my dad? A dad is a man. A father is a man. You know what I mean? So how can you say that you're still my dad, but you want to be a woman? No, if you want to be a woman, then you give up everything that consists of being a man.
Hmm.
If
Interesting.
I wanted, if I wanted to be a guy, I can't say I want to go get my sex changed and I want to be a guy. But if a man hits me, then that's not right because it's a man hitting a woman. I'm not a woman anymore. I'm a man now. And I think that sometimes it's just really difficult and it's really confusing because Bruce Jenner got a sex change. So now he identifies himself as a woman. But he identifies himself as a woman, but he doesn't sleep with men.
He doesn't sleep with men. He sleeps with
He
women.
sleeps with women, but
So he's become a lesbian basically.
he doesn't consider himself a lesbian.
Wait, huh?
So what are you?
Okay, so he's wait. So let me make sure I got this straight. So he's saying I want to be a woman, but I want to sleep with women, not men, but I'm not a lesbian.
It, and you know what? It's so funny. And this just popped into my head. I was watching an interview that Charlemagne the God did with Vlad TV. And I know that Charlemagne is like, your homie or whatever. And I was watching the interview and he made a great point. I remember he had posted something on Twitter and he was saying that Bruce Jenner's a lesbian. If he's going to be a woman and he only wants women, he's a lesbian. And people were saying that he's transphobic, he's homophobic, he's a hater. How is he a hater? Because if a woman wants a woman, then that's a lesbian. That's what lesbians do. But Bruce Jenner's not a lesbian somehow? How the hell does that make sense? It doesn't make sense. That's
So
like if I want to be a guy, but I don't want to sleep with women. I only want to sleep with men. But you better not call me gay. What?
okay, well, just so you know, I looked it up. I looked up the definition of lesbian, and the first definition that comes up, it looks like this is Webster's dictionary. A lesbian is a homosexual woman. Homo means same. You're a woman sleeping with another woman. So if Bruce Jenner's a woman and he sleeps with women, then he's got to be a lesbian. That
Then
is a
he's
homosexual. I mean, that's what I'm seeing here. And what I don't really understand is how that makes you transphobic and all that. I mean, it's transphobic. Does transphobic just mean you don't agree with what certain people want you to believe? I mean, can't you have your own beliefs and not be transphobic or homophobic? That I don't even. I mean, so okay. So let's start from the basics. It sounds like he's clearly saying he's transgender, right? Is he at least that?
yeah.
Okay, so he is saying he's transgender, um, and he wants to be called Caitlyn, and he wants to be a woman, right? Which and
And
he's
Caitlyn won't
okay.
all excuse my French, but Caitlyn won't all the bitches. But Caitlyn's not a lesbian.
All the- so
I,
Caitlyn don't want no men. Caitlyn's not bisexual, really.
no.
Okay, okay.
But
But
see, how would Caitlyn be considered bisexual if Caitlyn's sleeping with a man? Because it's a woman and a man.
I don't know.
Is it
Maybe
not enough to make you pull your damn hair out? Because it makes me want to
right.
pull my. It's so confusing.
Maybe sleeping with Caitlyn makes you bisexual since you sleeping with Bruce and Caitlyn at the same time. Does seriously, does Bruce? Okay, I didn't see all the interviews, but let me ask you: did Bruce? Does he have the same equipment? Like, did he get rid of the penis and all that, or he still got the penis?
I don't know. He hasn't done any interviews since his sex change,
Okay, since
so
his sex
nobody
change.
knows. If,
So
yeah,
does
so
that
nobody knows if he still has the penis or not.
really? Okay,
Which
so
honestly, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I don't think that he does. I
mm,
mean, well, actually, I do think that he may still have it because with a surgery like that, I wouldn't imagine him doing photo shoots that fast because you have to heal. So my guess is he might still have it.
hmm. Well, didn't you know what? I'm gonna Google this because I could have sworn um somebody was saying that he might still have the penis, but um
Nobody knows. I mean, he
no
hasn't
nobody
actually.
knows. So people have asked him. Okay, okay. Hollywood Life has an article titled "Has Bruce Jenner had full gender reassignment surgery?" Um, let's see here. No, they're saying let's eliminate any confusion from the beginning. Caitlyn has not had any genital surgery yet. However, March 15th, she did head to a surgical center in Beverly Hills to take the final steps in her transformation. Facial feminization surgery, as well as a procedure to augment her breasts. The surgery comes after previous work done on her nose, as well as the infamous tracheal shave. Uh, the facial procedure involves changes to the hairline, forehead, jaw, and chin, according to Vanity Fair. The day's surgeries took a total of 10 hours and left Caitlyn in such pain that she had no choice but to be on large amounts of medication. She certainly looks to be recovered by now, though. Okay, okay. And she hasn't confirmed yet if she's going to go through the reassignment surgery. You know,
Ain't no confirm. Once you get titties, you bout that life. So you need to go and get a chop.
so you can't have titties and a penis?
How? How?
I don't know. I mean, I figure people just
So
do whatever
so
they want
so
now.
so if Caitlyn, if we just gonna call her Cruz, it's Caitlyn and Bruce.
Well, no, no, out of respect, no, no, out of respect. I
But
think we
I
should.
mean, but no,
She
if
wants to be Caitlyn, so we're gonna let's call her Caitlyn. That way
but
we can
but
we.
but no, if you still have male genitalia, then you're still a man. You cannot go through this process of getting breasts. You wearing dresses, you doing all this, but you don't want to get your thing cut off. To me, it's almost what are you waiting for? What are you hesitating about? You wanted to do this, so do it.
Well, let me ask
But
you
now
this.
you're stuck in the middle. So are you a bisexual? Because you got both parts.
So, do you think that a person has to go all the way in order to be who they want to be? I mean, you got transgender people, right? Like Laverne Cox from what's that show? Orange is the New Black. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And that's a very pretty lady, but I think she's transsexual or transgender. I don't know the right term.
Transgender. She was
Transgender.
a man.
Right. Okay. So does she have her penis? Do you
I
know?
ain't asked all that.
You didn't ask all that. Okay. So I mean, and I wonder about that, and I wonder if there is a way to be fair to people who are trying to find themselves, at the same time not feel like you have to go along with whatever fad people are grabbing onto, because it seems like there is, since Obama. It really started when Obama got elected. Obama, they called the Newsweek called him the first gay president because he really pushed the gay issue really to the forefront. And
Hmm.
so, and it's true. It's true. People can go look at the record. So, in
Yeah.
the last 6 years, it seems that in a good way, you've seen a lot of the gay and transgender community really gaining a lot of boldness in terms of being represented and respected, which they should be. But at the same time, I think it's left a lot of people confused. It's left a lot of people feeling like they have to go along with everything or they're going to be called out. What do you think?
And you're right. It does leave a lot of people confused. But don't get upset with me because I'm confused when you're confused too. A lot of transgenders don't know what they want. At one minute they want to be a woman and they only want other women, whatever the hell, but they're not lesbians. I don't understand that. And then if you want to change your sex to become a man, but you still want to sleep with men, that doesn't make you gay somehow. And you still want to be dad, but you change yourself into a woman, and so technically you're really mom. You want to get the breast, but you want to keep your penis. It doesn't make sense. And I honestly, and as I said before, I don't want to offend anybody, but I don't even think that a lot of transgenders know what the fuck this is. I don't think they know, cause I don't.
Well,
And my information is coming from transgenders. The people that I see on YouTube and the people that I see on the internet and doing TV interviews, they don't even know. They just, well, I have boobs, so I'm a woman. No, if you still have a dick, then you're a man.
but what if somebody? Because I mean, but did you ever see that a commercial for that new Ted movie with the talking teddy bear
Hmm.
with Mark Wahlberg at the end, and
Oh,
he
I
was.
haven't seen.
Yeah, it's really funny, and at the end, and this is graphic, but we all grown. But it was funny because at the end, he said something like he found a whole bunch of porn that he had, and he was like, Johnny, chicks with dicks, what is this? And he's like, I'm sorry, I have a problem, I can't help it. And he said, Johnny, there are no chicks with dicks, there are only guys with tits. so so that's what it made me think about a little bit. It's like what is it? I mean, are you a guy with boobs or are you a girl with a penis? But we'll put that chicken egg issue to the side for now. But what I'm really seeing here too, and I want to get your take on this is it seems to me that you have people that just say, look, in all fairness, they might say, I don't want to be put in a box. You ain't got to label me male or female. You ain't got to label me a lesbian or heterosexual. I'm just human. I'm just who I am, and that's it. And maybe that's a valid argument, even though it's a little tough for people to digest. But then the problem to me that seems so interesting, and I don't know how this gets solved, is there can be a little bit of selfishness when you're just making all these changes to your life and to yourself, and you're expecting everybody else to just go along with it.
And that's what I
I know that as your dad, if I was to come to you and just be like, you know what, Patrice? I just decided I don't really want to be your dad anymore. This just isn't fun, and I want to go to Ecuador and like swing with the monkeys and and just do whatever. Or I just decided I want to be your mom now. I'm gonna get boobs, and I need you to call me Joyce, and you need to
yes, I do.
Right, right. Or I'm gonna still be your dad. So you need to treat me like your dad. Treat me like I'm still a man in your views, but or in your eyes. But I'm gonna be wearing a dress and I'm gonna have boobs, which to me would almost be a little bit unfair to you because I'm forcing you to see me the way I need you to see me, as opposed to you responding to me the way you respond to me. You respond to me different from the way you respond to your mother because your mother's a woman. I am a man. That is the balance that you become accustomed to. That's the balance that some people think is natural. I'm not gonna say that that's not natural. I mean, the animal kingdom, you have males and you got females, and they're different. There's no question about that. So, what do you think about that? I mean, how do people show that respect to those who want to be fluid in their sexuality and who they are, while at the same time just saying, look, just because you're making all these changes don't mean I got to go along with it. I've been calling you Bruce since you won the Olympics in 1976. I'm gonna keep calling you Bruce, even though you telling me to call you Caitlyn. I can't. I'm not gonna do that. Let's say that people feel that way. I mean, is that right, or are you being transphobic and all that stuff?
I'm not going to say that it's right, but I don't think that it's wrong either. I think that it's almost like and it's almost one of those things like if I'm as we know, I'm a Christian and you're a Muslim or a Catholic or atheist or whatever, I don't have to accept your views. I don't have to. Just because I don't have to. Like, I don't have to do anything. So I think that is just kind of one of those things. I don't know if I'm getting off subject, but you don't have to accept anything. I think when people try to pressure others to understand them, I don't have to understand you. And I mean that's not even in the gay, lesbian, transgender community. That's just in regular everyday life. There are people who just don't like me and who just don't want to accept me. That's okay. There are people who don't like me just because I'm your daughter. And that's okay. They don't have to. But I think that when it comes to respect, it's about just being nice to people. Hey, how you doing? Don't stop talking to that person. Don't bully that person. Don't, make jokes about that person's sexuality, but you don't have to be an ass kisser about it. Does that make sense?
hmm Yeah, it really it's like me demanding my freedom to express myself. Um, is a thin there's a thin line between me fighting for my freedom and me imposing on your freedoms, right? If I'm fighting for my freedom to be gay, lesbian, transgender, whatever it is I want to be, Muslim or Christian or anything like that, I can be imposing on your rights as a human being to be who you want to be. Maybe you are a black Christian woman who has some fundamental value system. You see a family as a mother and a father and the child, and you're not interested in having your dad come home and say, "Oh, now I'm your mom," or "Now I'm still your dad, but I have boobs and long hair." You're not. That's not interesting to you, and I think that um, it would probably be wrong for me to say, "Well, no, I'm sorry, but this is what I want to be. This is who I am, and you need to accept that." No, as you said, you really don't. You really can accept what you want to accept, and not accept what you don't want to accept, and leave it at that. And it does seem that now we have a lot of bullying going on. We have a lot of people that just will
Unfortunately.
beat up on you if you don't believe what they believe in. And the funny part about it to me, Patrice, is that a lot of the people that do the bullying sometimes are liberals who have always fought for things like freedom of speech, who've always believed in freedoms and liberties, but yet they will crush and oppress and suppress and censor people who don't go along with their value system. And I just think that's stupid. That doesn't make any
Well,
sense to me.
I usually like to call them like situational people. Like they only like you when you agree with their situation, or when you agree with what they're talking about, or when you agree with what they're going through. Now, if you don't agree with it, then they don't want to be with you. They don't want to be around you no more. They don't mess with you like that no more. And you meet people like that every single day. Those are the kind of people I'm just like, whatever. You don't even know what the fuck you talking about. You confused. You lost. Vamos, goodbye. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not about to waste my time on nothing like that. But like, as far as the Bruce Jenner thing goes, I definitely think that as humans, we have a right to condone or not, but I don't think that we should condemn. I don't think that we should condemn people and hurt people's feelings for who they want to be. But at the same time, opinions are opinions, and my opinion is Bruce Jenner's still a man. As long as he has his penis, he's still a man. Now, let's get to what we were actually going to talk about in this one, because I think we
Mm.
we kind
No, I think we talked about some good stuff, but you did have a thought about like the race issue. and stuff like that.
Yeah.
No, what
And
was
and
done on
by the
that?
way, this is just like a extra little daddy daughter discussion. We're gonna get to the fathers introducing their children to their new spouses next week, right? Or Sunday possibly.
Yeah, I got to go to Syracuse, so we can do that when I get back. So maybe on Sunday we'll hit that.
So, but anyway, my question was, why is it that Bruce Jenner is considered a hero, but let's say if this was okay, because we all know that Bruce Jenner he did the Olympics and he was very great at sports and he was just basically considered to be a man's man because I mean he played football, basketball, track, soccer, baseball, anything that you could think of. So let's flip the table and say if it was Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, or LeBron James. These are all three men who have been in the Olympics. They're historic for sports. Michael Jordan is one of the baddest. LeBron James, he's working on it, and Muhammad Ali is one of the baddest. How do you think that they would be on the cover of Vanity Fair if they changed their sex?
I don't think
Or
they'd
would
be.
they shame them?
I don't think they'd be on the cover of Vanity Fair. I do think, however, that they would be cheered on. I think that there are people that really do like to see black men more than anybody in a feminine state. I think it goes
I
back.
totally disagree with that.
Really, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think people would just and I since we started making these videos, I cuss so much, but I think people would shit on them. I think people
Mm,
would really shit on them. I really do. And I mean this, and I mean it would be to the point where nobody would talk about like if you talking about sports, you're not gonna talk about Muhammad Ali no more because to you Muhammad Ali is not a man no more. So
mm.
Muhammad Ali wouldn't be what is it, Manisha Ali now? You know what I mean? Like people would make so many jokes. It'd be so many memes on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. It would just be a joke. It would be like his legacy is nothing no more.
Yeah, what?
LeBron James, people wouldn't look at him the same no more. Michael Jordan, I guarantee you, people are so. I think that some people can be so caught up they'll stop buying his shoes. And we know how black people love Jordan. Like
Now,
people will stop with them.
now that might be true. Now, I think the reaction of the black community might be different. But if you remember, the first openly gay NBA player and the first openly gay NFL player, Michael Sam and Jason Collins, they got a lot of applause, and it wasn't mostly coming from black people. Black people were still kind of looking at it a little bit funny. Not everybody, but a lot of black people were black people in the church. Whereas white people, white liberals loved it. They were very excited to see these men come out. I don't know if you saw Michael Sam when he got drafted and he gave his boyfriend a big kiss on on live TV, and a lot of people cheered.
And was it the guy that was in the NBA?
Michael Sam's the one that was in the NFL, and he didn't last that long. He didn't make it through into the league that far. But
But wait, didn't he go on Dancing with the Stars?
Michael Sam, he might have. I know he's struggling because he doesn't really have any kind of I don't think he has a source of income. Like I think that he got dropped by the NFL, and he's just trying to make it however he can. So I would say that my belief is that um, and again I don't know for sure, but my belief is that people actually like to see black men in a more feminine state and masculine. For example, if you go to Hollywood and you count the number of major black actors who have been put in a dress over the last 5 years, it far exceeds the number of white actors. White people, you have to maybe stretch and think for a minute, and you might come up with one or two, maybe from the 1990s and 1980s. With
This is
black
Dr.
men, I can name 4 or 5 in the last 5 years. But,
Yeah. Well, I
oh,
think
go ahead.
I personally think that, and you might not agree with me on this, but I think that when black men do it, it's it's shit on by whites because it's looked at like some coon shit.
Well, I think, but that's the thing. I think white people like coon shit. I really do.
Exactly.
I think that
Because
coonery.
black people can
Coon,
like fucking coons.
well, not everybody, and we shouldn't call them coons. We should just say that. Well, coonery does sell. We know that, but I would say that I think that, for example, here's a good example. Look at Laverne Cox from Orange is the New Black. The LGBT community, they like Laverne Cox. They embrace her more than black people do. And in fact, actually, I don't know if remember, you probably don't know our cousin Monte, but I grew up with him. Have I ever told you about Monte?
Hmm.
Yeah,
He died.
Monte was openly gay, and I was actually proud of him for being proud of who he was. But he was openly gay in the '80s, when it was not cool
Popular.
in the South to be a gay man. He was honestly he was kind of flamboyant. He was who he was, and
Hmm.
it was weird. I ain't gonna lie, it was very weird for all of us in the family. But one thing I appreciated about him was the fact that he just was who he was, and I knew him from the age of 4, so I knew that was a big part of who he had been since we were in kindergarten. And what I saw later on in his life was after he finished college, because he was so rejected in the South by even his own family, he went to Philadelphia and he hung out with a lot of white people, and they embraced him. They became his friends, his lovers, whatever it was, whatever he was doing in Philly up until the day he died. And I feel kind of bad. I feel really bad about the fact that he couldn't be accepted for who he was. So when I see the LGBT movement, I'm actually happy about it to a point in that I'm happy that people are able to express themselves and not be afraid of who they are. What I don't like is when you're pointing at people who go to church and who have traditional values and saying you're homophobic, you're ignorant, you're a Neanderthal, you're whatever, or what gay people go through is similar to what black people went through. No, it's not. It's two separate struggles.
No, it's a big.
Stop trying to pretend like they're the same. They're not, right? And I think stuff like that bothers me because that's what liberals do to black people. They tell us think like you need to think the way we think, or we're going to punish you. We are the pimp who treats you well. The Republicans are the pimp who treat you bad. But either way, you still got a pimp.
Mhm.
So that's what my issue is. So I really think if LeBron James came out and said I want to be a woman, I think it would be the biggest thing in the world. I think that he would get clowned. I mean, absolutely. I mean, the memes will be out there or whatever. The memes are out there on Bruce Jenner too. Ain't no mistake about it. But I think
But
that
I've seen a lot more memes supporting him, like saying like I seen this one meme and it had a picture of like Kris Jenner crying, and it said and it had a picture of him in like a red dress and inside of a Porsche, and it said when you realize that your ex husband look better than you do.
yeah, I did see that one.
So
That was
I've
funny.
seen a lot of those. Now, as far as disrespectful memes, I haven't seen. I think I've seen like one, but all
Mm.
of the support, I've seen a lot of that.
Yeah,
And
I think that.
I honestly think that if he were black, I don't think he would get that.
Mm,
That's my opinion. We are all entitled to our opinions. I don't think he
absolutely.
would get that. I don't think he would get that.
Absolutely. I think that you're absolutely correct in terms of having your opinion on this, and I don't totally disagree with you. Because really, I mean, do either one of us really know exactly what would happen? No, we don't. I think that the black community's views on gender, and sexuality are very different from whites. And one of the things that's very funny to me is, um, you know, on one hand, you can argue that maybe black people are overly conservative and some of that needs to be adjusted, and I can't disagree with that entirely. But on the flip of that, um, everything white people are doing ain't always right, And one of the things that really irritates me is that you have whites that will go to African countries and will preach to them about the way they should view homosexuality, transgender, gay, lesbian issues. And my feeling is, look, you don't want other countries coming over here preaching to you, so stop preaching to them. Africans have a different view. You can't go to Nigeria and give a speech about this kind of issue or say I used to be a man, now I want to be a woman, now I'm free. They're not going to get that. They're not going to try to get that. And while you want to pretend like those people are backwards and ignorant, maybe you're the one who's backward and ignorant. Nobody knows, right? So I just think the only thing you can do at this point is live and let live.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should ever abuse someone for being gay or or do anything to harm that person. But at the same time, uh, you know, let's not get to the point where the bullying is in the other direction, and that's what I don't like right now. That's what I'm seeing right now. So
Well,
I'll let you get the last word.
I see the. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, I was gonna say I'll let you get the last word.
I see a lot of bullying, but then I also see a lot of copping out too. Like when I actually told you the story about my friend who was gay, and he said he didn't want to be friends with me anymore because of an article that I wrote about a gay kid or a transgender getting killed by somebody. And he said I basically didn't sound sorry or anything, even though I didn't really say anything. He was just saying like I didn't sound concerned or sorry, which I don't feel like I have to. I was just writing the story. So anyway, like he gave me this speech about how gay people are just born gay. Gay people are born gay, straight people are born straight. And honestly, to me, it's almost like you're using that as your reason for doing something that you may feel is not quite right. And I person and as I said before, everybody has an opinion. I feel like everything is a choice. I feel like you make the choice and then you put the title on it. So you can make the choice to be a man and have sex with a man, or I can make a choice to be a lesbian and put a title on it. People do that all the time. And it's not, and I mean, you have to think about it as if I was saying, I feel like I was born to be white, but I'm black. Like, how do I know that I feel like I was born to be white? I don't know what white feels like. And that's it. If I said I feel like I was born to be a man, I don't know what being a man feels like because I was born a woman. So how do I know what it feels like to be gay and I've never experienced it? How do I know what it feels like to be straight and I've never experienced it? I made the choice to date men. I
Well,
made the choice to never touch a woman. And I think that everything is just about choice. I think that and I'm not saying that my choice is right. I'm not saying that a homosexual's choice is wrong. I'm just saying that everybody makes a choice. So don't say God made me this way.
mm,
Bullshit. You made the choice. And it's okay. But don't try to cop out by saying this is the way that I was born.
mm.
No, you made the choice. That's like saying I got all F's because that's the way that I was born. No, you made the choice to not fucking study. That's why you didn't pass anything.
Well, I'm not gonna say that opinion is wrong, but what I will say is that I think that it's a mixed bag. I truly believe that there are people who don't have a choice. I believe because I never made the choice to want to be with women. I just knew that when I went to kindergarten, I saw a little girl with pigtails and I thought she was cute. Or I met your mother and I thought she was cute, right? I wasn't looking at your mama's boyfriend at the time and saying he's cute because I think she might have had a boy, but I'm not putting her business out there. But anyway, clearly I was the better man. I'm kidding, but no. In all seriousness, though, I wasn't looking at men and feeling a certain way, and I think attraction is just something that you have, and you don't, you don't decide that that's how you're gonna feel. Like when you see a man that's well, again, I'm not talking about you. I'm not saying this is true for every. See, the funny thing to me, Patrice, is that I think that it does vary. Like I think there are people who just wake up one day and they just say that's what I like, and they don't know why they like it. But then I do think that the black community has a different relationship with homosexuality than whites. So, for example, you have a lot of men who go to prison who are straight when they go to prison, but because they lack affection from a woman for so long, they might have sex with men while they're in prison and come out and they're having sex with both. And so that means that we have to have our
But see,
own.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So if you get out of prison and you're having sex with both, why? Because you made that choice. Because since there are women in the equation now, you can choose. Well, there's plenty of girls out here. I don't have to look at these motherfuckers no more.
Right, but some I don't think some people can just make that choice. I mean, you have some people who never went to prison who have always wanted the same gender. They've never wanted the opposite sex. So for
But
them, it's not a choice.
a lot of people that I have met who do want the same gender, I've noticed if it's a guy, if he has a lot of sisters, or he was touched by his uncle, he was molested by a man, and the same thing for girls. If they want a girl, it's because they hang out with a lot of guys. They were raised to be a tomboy, so since they were raised that way, they feel like that's the way that they should be, so they make that choice.
Well, what I think is that you actually touch on a good point. Dr. Umar Johnson talks about this a lot, and he gets attacked for quote unquote being homophobic. But
I like
one of the things Johnson brings up that I really like is he brings up the fact that we don't have that conversation about how molestation plays a part in a person's sexual preferences. And
mhm.
you have a lot of molestation that happens in black households, especially since a lot of times there's not a father in the house to protect the kids, and things happen, and so your sexuality might come out of that. And nobody talks about that. Nobody even really is even allowed to really study the link between molestation and sexual preference because they want to act like it doesn't exist. They want to act like you're being homophobic by asking that very legitimate and honest questions. So I think that in the black community, we have our own issues to work through and deal with. I think you and I both can think of examples where, I've seen women start high school straight, and then they're gay by the time they finish high school, and then they're straight again, like 3 years down the road. We can't pretend like it can't be a fluid process for some people. So I agree with you on that for sure.
And then you start high school a virgin, and you end high school being the biggest hoe. It's a choice.
Well, that part's a choice, but who you hoeing with? That's also a choice. But sometimes it may not be a choice. Sometimes you may be a man who wants to sleep with men. So I don't think we can say that it is never that it's never a choice. You can't say the opposite either. And it's funny because I was on a CNN thing one time, and I actually said that I think that people are born gay, and I think they misinterpreted what I said, and they put it as a headline on Anderson Cooper's website saying Dr. Boyce Watkins says being gay is a choice, and I did kind of say that, but I didn't say that. I didn't intend to say that it's true for everyone because I don't believe it's true for everybody. I do believe there are people who can make a choice. I can think of, for example, it usually more so on women, more so than men. But I've seen women who were in abusive relationships and decided they wanted to date women to get away from the abuse. So for them, it almost seemed to be more of an emotional decision to date women to get away from what they thought men were going to do to them, right? So what you're saying is not off base, but I don't think it's true for everybody. I think for some people they can't make a choice. So anyway, I'm almost done. Did you have something else you wanted to say?
Um, no.
Okay,
Thanks for watching. And can I close out this time? You always feel like you got to, and I'm on the show too. So,
go ahead, girl. Do your thing, and tell them where they can follow you on Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube, or anything like that.
okay. Well, I don't have a Twitter, but I do have an Instagram, Naturally Treese, NATURALLYTRIECE. And you can also look at my YouTube channel, and you can with the same name, and you can follow my dad at the Dr. Boyce Watkins. The Dr. Boyce Watkins on Instagram as well as Twitter, and I think that's about it.
Or maybe my Instagram's the real Dr. Boyce. Apparently, I don't know because I don't spend time on Instagram. Facebook
Yeah,
is the Dr. Boyce Watkins. So
yeah.
thank you for telling people about my Facebook and my Twitter, and thank you all for watching. And I'm sorry, I did let you close out, so I'm not gonna say another word. All right, talk to you
So,
soon, Patrice. I love you.
all right, I love you too.
All right,
Bye, guys.
bye
Mwah.
bye.